things are made from one, and in the end, all things return to one.
In other words, one is all.
Indeed, and all is one as well.
All is ultimately of the one. So if all is not included in the one, then all is nothing.
You have passed.
Because if you really think about it, a plane and like a spaceship or a rocket ship is kind of like a giant portal. It's still metal. Like it might have an engine or whatever, but like it's still like a portal is like more of a stationary thing. A rocket is like a moving portal, if that makes sense. Like they still have to use metal.
Right.
Yeah, like you don't see them making portals out of plastic. You don't see them making portals out of wood. Yeah, you see them using like stones, crystals, and metal. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
because as you thought of that, that popped into my mind was Stargate, and especially like with crystals, crystals are always used as some type of almost like a fuel source. A lot of times, it's like, all right, we got this xenon crystal to keep Atlantis. I'm talking about from the perspective of Stargate,
yeah,
not the
I got you. I got you.
mythological perspective. But it's like, but it's like using these different crystals to like power things. I was also on X-Men that had like a certain pink crystal that, powered certain things, and that in essence had like the ability to suck in all of, that's a whole nother level, but suck in everything, almost like the whole world would get sucked in through this crystal. But not getting into that, but just the energy of, again, yeah, seeing how, with the portals and stuff like that is mostly some type of metal, uh c- you know in connection with some type of metal, and then also the crystals, having some type of connection with that travel and stuff like that too.
Yeah, so this is dealing with So I did a video called Metal. It's literally called Metal. That's it. Uh, so the way I describe six-dimensional energy is dealing with matter. Um, Now matter can go into metal, but it also can go into melanin too, because there's different types of melanin too. So it's not just carbon is one. Obviously, carbon. It's all based on carbon, but there's different types. So if you watch Venom, you have Carnage, you have Venom. Like there's different types of symbiote or melanin suits. So this is tying in with different types of metals. So this is going into like cosmic astrology. That's way too far. But long story short, um, we can create portals with our bodies ourselves. And we talked about this before. And we were talking about how people can become unstable. This is why certain people become unstable when they don't have the right. And it's not just about like again skin, but it's really just people can become unstable if they're handling energies that are um, either too much for them or they haven't learned how to, you could say, integrate it into their system yet. So
Right,
this is why,
right.
like for example, melanated people were always spirituals because we were able to um, connect with um, these higher energies and stuff like that.
Process it and digest it and connect with it, more
That's part of what
easier.
is like we're able to transmit light in and out of our bodies. So this is dealing with able to this is literally just being a this is dealing with dimensions, like having different dimensional types of vessels that exist on the planet. Yeah.
Right, because as you bringing up the whole the connection with the melanin, and also just because that's been coming up a lot lately too, for myself, is just like being reminded that again, like a lot of these spiritual practices and things that's coming up is more so from a perspective to try to teach somebody who may not be tapped in like other people. So all these different things that you see and hear about may not necessarily be for you to even deal with. It may be actually like, and again, not know nobody is better than nobody or not, but just again, it's like, learning about certain things in a certain way is almost like a 12th grader trying to go back to, like using a process of, a kindergarten process to, to when, like to use a process that comes from a grade they already passed, when they don't necessarily need that in the grade that they're in, you know what I'm saying? To
Yeah. I mean, it happens sometimes. Sometimes we be in the wrong class. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just find yourself. You're just like, man. I remember in university. I was in this one class. I was in there for like 20 minutes, right? And I was like, man, why are there only women in this class? I was just so confused. It was a big class too. I'm looking around, and then the teacher said something because I wasn't really paying attention. It's like the first day. Teacher said something, and I was like, and I realized there's a woman's gender studies class, and I'm like, damn. Like,
Right,
no
right.
class, but I was like, damn, this is why I was getting looks like this. I was like, I'm in the wrong class. Sometimes it happens, you know what I mean? Sometimes it happens. It takes a second.
Yeah, being in the wrong class, you know what I'm saying? Like again, that's almost like that goes to the perspective of like, with our whole protection or being in alignment, you know what I'm saying? Like being in a certain again, like being aligned with your true essence or have you where you need to be. And you'll know if you're not in alignment by you look up and again in the classroom, it's like, man, should I be in this class? Or is this, you know what I'm saying? Like so yeah, most definitely. And of
We
course, everybody, if you don't know, the real ones know for sure. But everything and a lot of things we're speaking on is definitely metaphorically too. You know what I'm saying? Like you could take this and put it in different arenas of understanding, you know what I'm saying? So